the 24-hour cash flow machine. Now, this strategy that you're going to learn in full right here today, it's of particular importance to you if you control your pricing. And I might do a full episode on that concept because if you don't control your pricing, you're missing out on several strategies that you can implement to generate additional cash flow. Okay. And a lot of those can be automated to create more automated income long term. So if this idea of who controls your pricing is new to you, just think of it this way. If you're doing network marketing or affiliate marketing, someone else is actually selling the product, right? You're not the vendor. But if you've got your own coaching, consulting, services, products, info products, courses, etc., then you're the vendor. And theoretically, you have full control over your pricing. And this is why, from the very get-go, I had no plans to be only an affiliate. I always knew there was going to be some product or product line in my business that would give me the ability to control my pricing because it opens up so many avenues of additional income and also of automated income long term. So what is it? What's the 24-hour cash flow machine? Well, first of all, you can extend it to 48 hours, 72 hours. The concept, pretty simple here. Make up a reason, any reason, and run a sale. Because here's the truth of so many creator-based businesses and so many product sellers is that we often forget that marketing and sales are kind of two sides of the same coin. So publishing YouTube videos in order to gather up an audience, right? Growing your email list to grow your audience. Those are marketing activities, which are great. They're needed. They build the audience. They get you that captive audience who you can connect with. But then you got to sell them something if you want cash flow to come in. And we need to oscillate back and forth between sales and marketing and sales and marketing. Now, a lot of my students I've seen, they'll go through the hard work of building out a course or a product, and then they'll kind of, at the last minute, they'll just slap together a sales letter because it was the last bit of energy they have, and then they launch it out to the world, and then they kind of really don't revisit it very often. And ta-da, this is where you can go find something that worked in the past, dust it off, make it fresh again with the 24-hour cash flow machine, and voila, you've got a new promotion. You've got something to send out to your list. You've got something to send out on social, wherever you've got your audience, and having that hard deadline, the 24 hours, gives you the ability to, and here's a key, email multiple times. So if I was to do a 24-hour cash flow machine, here's exactly what I would do. First, since I've been selling products, I would go into my shopping cart and I would load the last 2 or 3 years of data. I would want to see all of my shopping cart data, and I wanted to see one graph that shows how much money I made each day for the last year or two. I'd go back 5 years if I had that much data. Then I'd look for the spikes in the data. What are those really large spikes that stand above all of the other data points? We're looking for the outliers, the things that performed really, really, really well in the past, because odds are you haven't gone back and rerun that promotion. I would go grab that promotion and I would rerun it with as little effort as I could to make it relevant to now. And what I mean by that is it might be the Black Friday deal you did in 2019. Does it matter that it's March 10th right now? Absolutely not. And this is where I said make up a reason, any reason, right? I don't know, like I got a quarterly tax payment coming up and I ain't trying to pay it, so let's run a sale. And you don't need to use that bit in your copy, but for some brands and for some people and creators, it actually could kind of work. Now, I believe this idea, if I was to attribute this to where I got it from, I believe this was a Frank Kern idea, crazy Uncle Frank. And I believe he actually needed to do this for making taxes. And he did like a 4-day sale. And it was just like, I got this huge tax bill, and he ran the sale and it crushed it. It did really well. So it kind of like has just evolved. Now, in our business, we don't do this very often. And the reason we don't want to do this very often is because if you overuse it, people start to expect things on sale, and you never want to do that. But sometimes, let's say, for example, you want to start running some paid ads. You're like, yep, I'm ready to start doing some Facebook ads. I want to scale the business. I know for a fact if I'm running paid ads that I'll grow my business more quickly once I figure that out. But I don't want to go out of the old bank of Beckler in order to get those first pay-per-click ad So run a 24-hour cash flow machine, right? Go dust something off, prep it up, dress it all up, mail the bejeebus out of it, make sure your audience knows it, generate some cash flow, and voila, you now have an ad budget to work with. So this is how it's not just like I want cash in my pocket so I can go buy a Lambo. Like, not at all. Like, obviously, I'm thinking a cash flow injection for the business so I can then let the business go reinvest that in another way that's more intelligent. It can also give you a little bump and some conversion data on a new product. And what I like about it is that you have the ability to make your email list and your subscribers and your inner circle, you can make them feel good, right? Like, so right now we're in these inflationary times. Gas prices are rising quickly. People are feeling it. And, in my world, people know they need to step up and grow their business and do what it takes. So when I launch my next product, I have every intention of doing a 24-hour sale, being like, look, you need this. Your world's getting more expensive. So for 24 hours, I'll give it to you for 50% off with this promo code. And it's literally just as easy as going in and adding a promo code inside of my shopping cart and then writing an email, maybe announcing it here on the podcast, right? It's that simple. Now, if your shopping cart doesn't have a promo code feature, then just go into the sales page, change the wording, add a countdown timer to the top, special offer, closes in 24 hours, have a little countdown timer up top, and then when the time's up, go strip all that stuff out and you're back to full price. What I hope happens here is a few things. First, I hope you take action. I hope you see that you've had these assets, as I like to call them, past products and past things you've created that are of value to people. And I hope it reminds you that you kind of owe it to your audience and to yourself to promote your stuff. You actually have to market and sell your things if you want to create a real business online that can pay for, like adult things like mortgages and car payments and insurances and 401ks. So that's the first side of it. I just want you to go through the process and be like, yeah, what else am I doing? I'll run a 72-hour sale this weekend because ... You don't even need a reason. Okay. Spring is coming. I mean, daylight savings. Oh, Lord, we're getting an hour of daylight back. I'm running a sale. I'm feeling the sunshine vibes. I'm running a sale for daylight savings because I'm so excited we're getting another hour back. Okay. And then what I would do is I would mail it. Now, if you're doing 24 hours, I would mail it first in the afternoon on the first day. Okay. And then what I would do is I would mail it that afternoon and say, hey, you got 24 hours. And then the following morning, at the least, I would mail it again. So I would make sure I'm getting 2 emails in that period of time. If I was feeling really ambitious and if I had a international audience, I would probably queue up an extra email to go in between. And I would probably email it every 7 or 8 hours. Now, if you do a 48-hour cash flow machine, I'd do 1 email to announce it. And then I'd do 2 emails on the last day. 1 in the morning, say, hey, it's the last day. And then 1 with about 3 or 4 hours left saying, hey, 3 hours left, last chance, final deadline, final notice, deadline. Those kinds of subject lines, they just get massive opens if you don't use them all that often. If you use them all the time, they just start to ignore them. Okay. And if you want to do a 3-day cash machine, you're going to get some sales on the first day, and then you get all your sales on the last day. And that's really what happens in all these little launches that you do. You'll see your most ambitious people will buy right away. You'll get some sales on the first day. Sales will drop down to almost nothing in the middle. So if you're doing a 7-day launch, days 1 and 2 will have some sales. Days 3, 4, and 5 will have very, very little sales. And days 6 and 7 will have lots of sales. Generally, the last day is going to have all of the sales. So in that curve, we promote and launch as the first ones. Then in the very middle of that, we give lots of value so we can do some more promotion and launch emails at the end of it. But from my data, like, why stretch it out over 7 days? If you're going to get, and I've seen that running shorter promotions and longer promotions both crush it. So I have no data that says one of those two things is better than the other, but why drag it on? Why give people who open it and look on the first day, why give them 6 days to procrastinate? That's not in their best interest, and it's not in your best interest. So this is where the idea of the 24-hour cash flow machine, just really scrunch it down, compress the timeframes. And if you feel more comfortable doing it over 72 hours because, you just want to see it work the first time and you don't want to go full force, full speed, that's fine. Run it for 72 hours. And this is the concept. you go out and you've spent the energy to grow your audience and you've got them on an email list. You know they're on a path to solving something in their life and you've created products that are going to help them on that path. Bingo. Now you got to sell it. And how do you sell it? Well, every way you possibly can, to be honest. Technically speaking, a proper sales letter is required. If you want to test a video sales letter on top of that, cool. But you got to have a proper sales letter that goes through all of those main conversion components, all of those copy blocks that walk the user through the emotional process of buying and logical, right? It's kind of an emotional path and a logical path of persuasion to help them get the thing they want that's going to help them. We just got to write it all out in the right way. Then, for those of you who have been on this path for a while and you've got some shopping cart data, this is where the layer of looking into your data to find those past promotions that you ran, those past products that you ran that did really, really well, that you never went back and re-offered. We've made, multiple six figures, possibly seven figures, reselling products that we created and initially launched years ago. It's like a main part, it's like one of our main strategies within our business. And this is the concept of automated income. It's not passive because I got to go into my shopping cart and I got to dig around. And what was that? And what was that? And where's the sales page for this? Okay, look at the sales page. Oh, that's talking about some date in 20. It's this thing in 2017. Okay, well, how do I now refresh that sales page? How do I re-update that? And that's what I want you to do, is to go into that old offer and find a way to make it relevant to here and now, dust it off, fix it up, put a bow on it, and launch that thing. Drop the price 50%, 75%. We've done some sales, literally 85%. We had a product, it was $247. We dropped the price down to $47. It sold so well at $47. It blew our mind. And we actually were able to scale that offer out on Facebook ads to cold traffic for years. I mean, that offer has brought in an incredible amount of money. And it was just like a haphazard, random idea of like, I want to sell something this weekend, ready for a cash flow injection to the business. That thing never performed the way I thought it would. So this is counter to my follow the spikes data. So what if I just hack the price down and just go? And it worked. And it created a little budget that we then plugged into Facebook ads. And we've been running that thing tens upon tens of thousands of dollars in ads, bringing in thousands of new customers. All because I was willing to just kind of go try this, to give it a quick 24-hour cash flow machine type launch, see what happens, measure the results, and we're on our way. So while you're doing that, I hope you're working on your next product as well. Because the truth is, you're probably done selling before your audience is done buying. And this is a really important concept that the most successful marketers truly understand. There's a segment of your business who are so frustrated by the problem, they're ready to do everything. They want all of the things. And they would prefer it if you gave them a bundle option and a couple of bumps and you made it nice and neat so they could just buy everything right now. And the odds are you're not selling that way. So the final note on this one, if that product is just a standard little product, it's a one-off product, that's what it is, it's a course, you get the course. If you don't have any bump offers, find another old product and add it on as a bump so they can check that little box on the checkout page and get two products. If you've got an upsell that you've already written, like an upsell video that works, attach that upsell to this product as well. And now you've dug through the data to find something that worked. So you got a data point that this thing converts. You're going to dust it off. Not only are you going to relaunch that offer with extreme urgency based on the 24 or 48 hour deadline, but you're also going to add a bump offer and a one-click upsell to this thing. And what you might find is that the conversions are as good or better as they were, which means you're going to create another one of those giant spikes in your shopping cart data that are really fun. That's the cash register going cha-ching. It's a good thing to do if you are in business. But you're also going to find that by adding a bump and or a one-click upsell, you're also going to find that you can get a higher average order value. Because on average, for me, it's something to tune of like 30-40% of people take the bumps when I get them dialed right, and 25 to 35% of people take the one-click upsells, right? So it literally can just add another $20, $30, $50, $100 to the average order value. For example, I have some products that are $11 products, but after all of the bumps and stuff, it's usually a $40 plus average order value. I've got another one that's a $7 product. It consistently makes like $27 plus as the average order value. And that's because most users, or many users, not most, but many users, choose the bump offer, 2 bump offers if they're there sometimes, and the one-click upsell. And that's the idea, because I want you out there selling more things. And sometimes to sell more stuff, you just got to look back in the past, find something that worked, dust it off, find a reason to sell it now, and send it out to the world, see what happens. Yes, you should be creating new products, and ultimately, you should always be writing new sales copy, because you should always have a new offer that's coming out, because it's those offers and it's those conversions that ultimately bring you the cash flow inside of your business. I hope this has been helpful. I appreciate you. This one was not easy. If you've heard my momentum podcast recently, some of these I show up and it's easy to go, but I've been working on taxes and writing sales letters and finishing off bump offers on my own stuff today. And it's been a long day. I'm tired, but I wanted to keep momentum going. So I showed up for you again today, and it's March 10th. I hope you're doing well, and give it a shot. Let me know how this works for you if you launch one out. If you make some cash, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or on one of the socials. Let me know how it goes for you. I hope you have great success with the 24-hour cash flow machine.